All right, and we are into part 2 of this interview. All right, so Paul, what are some of the historic happenings that no one really likes to remember or read about that the Illuminati has been responsible for?
Well, what a lot of people are not aware of, but a lot of the wars in America by itself has been somehow worked with the Illuminati advantage. For instance, the Independence Day. Many people are not aware of, there was actually a story of how the last remaining efforts of Britain's secret societies was coming over to America to jumpstart America's independence. That's basically what it meant. Even if you look at the Constitution and how many people signed, some people say about 14 members were involved with it. Other people say a lot of them were involved with it, and we don't really know all of the specifics, including some of our presidents, which we're not going to get mentioned because a lot of them are responsible and a part of these organizations. Now, in terms of the later wars, World War I, World War II, Vietnam, there's actually a story about Vietnam. When World War II came about and these people made their money, you'd be surprised on what these people did. They basically said, we've got this extra amount of money, let's create a little war and just kind of figured it out. So they picked up a nice little territory, and this whole thing was just kind of like one big scam. And it's sad that a lot of Americans died for the country, and they didn't know what the whole war and everything was about. I mean, yeah, I do believe that wars do shape and change societies, but it's how we do it. Now we've got into the later wars, and you know, what the whole thing comes down to is profit. These organizations, which we're not going to mention, they meet up several times a year. They say, you know, we're gonna give money to both sides, and then from there we're going to get into war. And then basically what's going to come down to is the middleman, which is America and the rest of the world. Now, the only problem I have is, what's the sense of fighting for something that we don't have control over? You know, it really bothers me of how these, I want to call them nicely, the army and some of these organizations, how they look tough and everything, but in actuality they're kind of like puppets, because all they care about is, you know, how many children or how many people they're going to shoot, or who they're going to kill the next day or try to protect. You know, it's becoming a really sad situation.
What is the Illuminati's relationship to generally every country on this earth concerning man-made law?
Illuminati, even once again, is a branch of many branches. There are names that people are not even aware of, which I'm not going to get into specifics. Now, some people actually do say things. I'm not going to say anything because I do respect them to a certain extent. They want to remain as a mystery. Let them remain as a mystery. All we can say is, just for here in America, we are becoming the last generation of freedom before the slave population takes over. And sooner and sooner, this time is about to begin. And when the day comes, freedom will be a dream that does not exist anymore.
Please explain how the Illuminati is exposed when you look on the back of a dollar bill.
Well, when you look at a dollar bill, on top right hand side, you see an owl that represents the Bavarian Grove Society. Also in the front, this crest, which is part of the Illuminati's bloodlines for it. Also, if you look in the back, the temple, which is, believe it or not, many biblical scholars will say that they're waiting for this Antichrist is about to come. The term Antichrist is kind of an outpouring of the Spirit, but if you reverse it, you can actually get a pyramid of control. Now, Satan, who's on top of it, if you can see very carefully, he controls everything and works his way down like a pyramid, like how you have a president of a company and a vice president, and then it goes down further and further, just like the same principle. That also, when you look at the eagle, not many people know what the eagle actually represents. It's a camouflage for the phoenix that they wanted to use here in America. The phoenix, if you look at any of the Harry Potter series, is a perfect representation of how a bird dies and it just keeps coming back. And they wanted to use that symbol, but they found the bald eagle to be very close to it. Even if you look very closely on the right hand side, you actually can see 32 feathers, and on the left side is 33, if I imagine correctly. It might be reversed. The 13 symbols, which you can find just about anything on, from the leaves, just about everything that's on there. The Star of David, which is on the top of 13 colonies, which is also can represent as a pentagram. There's a lot of more mystery. Even if you take the same pentagram and place it on the circle, you can actually spell out Masons. Now, also, people are not aware of that right next to the right over here, by the number 1, is actually an angel that appears, but it's actually a demon. And it's also represented on the other side as well. If you take a very close look at it, you can see how these people have hidden the truth, and it's there, but many people don't really see it. Now, you can say that I'm crazy, I'm a lunatic, but you know what? If you copy a dollar bill and trace the lines, you can actually see things that's not even there. And supposedly there's another owl, either this side or on this side. It's probably on both sides, knowing them. In terms of our money, even when the deal goes through, which I'm not going to mention which deal it is, this right here will mean nothing at all, because their new dollar system will really change everything, and our Constitution will not even exist. Next question.
All right, well, there's only 2 minutes left on the time limit, so we're going to make one more video. Thank you for your time again.